Welcome to the Georgia Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from the Art Academy of Cincinnati. Take it away.
All right, thank you everybody. Thank you so much for your time today and for joining us. My name is Jack Worth. I am the Associate Director of Admissions for the Art Academy of Cincinnati. Just last year, the Art Academy of Cincinnati celebrated its 150th year as a nonprofit private college of art and design located right in the heart of downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, in a neighborhood called Over the Rhine. So we offer fully accredited degrees in the Associates of Science, Graphic Arts and Design, as well as the most popular degree being the Bachelor's degree of Fine Art. And we also have a Master's degree of Art and Art Education. Our total enrollment size sits just right over 230 students. And so that allows for a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which creates a really intimate learning environment for our students so that they constantly have access to a team of advisors, career services, and people who are really there to help them understand what careers in the arts looks like. A lot of the work that I do is destigmatizing this notion of the starving artist, and it's just really not the case. Art is everywhere, design is everywhere, creative writing is everywhere. So at the Art Academy of Cincinnati, we are the new generation of boundary breakers, the imaginative radicals who are creating the face of art as we know it, the creative entrepreneurs who are redefining culture, and the luminous visionaries who are creating a newer and brighter, more radiant future. Ultimately, that's what a degree in the arts is really helping you explore, how to be a radical creative problem solver using the things that you make in studio-based classes as well as liberal arts courses. And so here you can see our different majors and minors. So majors and minors including things like creative writing, design, illustration, drawing and painting, sculpture, print media, as well as photography. And our minors that you can see there as well, including topics such as animation, art history, and film, video, and audio. One thing to take with you today is that our program is super transdisciplinary, meaning that students have the freedom to come in undecided and really explore what the majors and minors look like. And even if down the road, they get to a point where they decide that they want to change their major, they have the opportunity and access to do that in a way that's not cumbersome. And this is because as a contemporary College of Art and Design, we really want our students to develop a strong tool belt of skills. And so the graphic that you're seeing on the right here is really just illustrating that 2/3 of your time as a student on a typical 4-year track is spent doing the actual studio arts, so the making of things. And then the other 1/3 of that component is going to be the liberal arts. All the while, though, we really focus on professionalism in this degree. So by implementing pathways that allow students to set themselves up to explore internship opportunities as well as study abroad opportunities, which we'll look at here in just a second. As we transition thinking about the actual facilities, this is one of the biggest points of difference at our college. So artist studios that let students work in their own spaces, as well as access to facilities that are either within their respective major or even outside of their major too. As I mentioned, we're located in the heart of Over the Rhine in downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's very common for the city to be just as much a part of your campus as the building itself, meeting at places like the Cincinnati Public Library or the Contemporary Arts Center or any of the design firms downtown as class time so that you're getting, again, those client-based projects as classes. And so as I mentioned, we do offer internship opportunities for our students that are implemented into our curriculum, as well as the opportunity to study abroad. And this is where you can see our students taking on actual client-based projects to explore what type of work is out there really for creatives pursuing this type of degree. And so here's our application process. It might seem really intimidating to think about some of these steps, namely the portfolio, but we do have some advice put together for you. So once a student applies, they work with an admissions counselor like myself or anyone else on our team to help them submit their final transcript upon graduating from high school. with a GPA minimum requirement of at least a 2.0. We do not accept the ACT or SAT, just because, we found that the portfolio is really the largest component for success when measuring artists, designers, writers, creatives. And so here's some portfolio tips for that application step. Understanding really that last point being the biggest and most important step, assembling your best work and going with your quality over your quantity, and then knowing that your admissions team is here to help you assemble the best portfolio that's possible for you. And that's because every single student that's accepted to the college receives an entrance scholarship, largely based off of the strength of their portfolio. And this scholarship can help take up to 1/3 of your tuition off from the get-go. Beyond that too, we are the only nonprofit private college of art and design in the state of Ohio that offers a tuition promise. And what this promise is stating is that the cost of tuition for your first year of study is what you can expect throughout 4 years of study achieving your bachelor's degree in fine art. And this is again to help you plan for, your future and helping fund, the ways to become a creative and to actually achieve this degree in a way that is possible. And as a first generation college student and as an alum of the program, I can tell you careers in the arts are possible, they're out there, and they are limitless as well too. And so here's some more information about where you can go to apply if you are interested. Beyond that, our website being artacademy.edu is definitely your best tool for learning more information. Again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Berea College.
Sorry. Okay, great. Hello, everyone. My name is Lisbeth Soselo Wilson. I'm an admissions counselor at Berea College. We are a small liberal arts college in Berea, Kentucky. And so I just have a couple of things to share with you. Berea was ranked as #1 bang for your buck by Washington Monthly. We offer a no tuition promise scholarship to all of our admitted students, which is valued at $176,000 over the 4 years. So that's a promise that we're making our students. You have to be academically eligible as well as financially eligible. We're looking for students who, have that high academic promise, but may not be able to afford to go to college. So this allows for our students to graduate with little to no debt. 49% actually graduate debt-free. And for those of the students that do end up borrowing, average debt at Berea would be a little over $5,500. So comparing that to the national average is insane. I myself am a Berea alum, first generation student. And so I think this would be a good opportunity if you're looking for a small liberal arts college for you. One of the unique things about Berea is that we are a federally recognized work college. So you do make $2,000 your first year through our work program. You're gaining practical skills through this program. There's over 300 different positions, 120 different departments. You also gain some mentorship through your labor supervisors and any career prep, because you can tailor your labor position towards your major. Washington Monthly also ranked us #3 liberal arts college. We have over 60 areas of study. That's including majors and minors. However, if you go on our website and you don't see a major that you're particularly interested in, please don't feel discouraged about applying. You would have the option to do an independent major. And so definitely let your counselor know if that's something that you might be interested in. We do have a small average class size, about 14 students. The higher the level of the course, the lower that number gets. So this really allows for you to have that one-on-one with your professor with a 10-to-1 student-faculty ratio and gain those relationships in order for whatever that next step after Berea would be. And we do have some funding available for our students if they're wanting to take the GRE, the LSAT, or the MCAT, and also for study materials. And so our students end up doing some conference presentations, or you might need to travel, and funding is available for that. So 4 years of opportunities. We do offer a study abroad program. Our Center for International Education can fund a study abroad experience. There's funding up to 75% of your expenses, and students can really go anywhere as long as it's safe and it makes sense academically. I know it's a little bit harder to think about right now, but I'm hopeful in the next couple of years. But then also we have funded internships. So we fund 2 internships. Most of the time, these are unpaid. So we don't want that to become a barrier for students to go ahead and do an internship. And students go all over the United States and really do, if you're open to it, then you just work with our internship office, and your housing, your transportation, and meals would be covered for your 2 internships for you to do. And then service learning, of course, we definitely want you to have some hands-on experience in the classroom. So we do provide service learning classes, as well as we have a center that's dedicated to service within different organizations that you can volunteer your time with. Here's just a couple of our notable alumni. I definitely always like to point out Dr. Karji Whitson, who's known as the father of Black History Month. Everyone uses touchscreen nowadays, so Dr. Hurst is one of the inventors of that technology. C. Morgan is a well-known author here in the Appalachian region. Akila Hughes, which she's super funny. And then Dr. Fenn, who won the Nobel Prize, which we actually house in our building. Now, there's just 6 steps between you and Berea. So our application is free. All you would need to do is just take 15 to 20 minutes of your time. And so the rest you can submit as you get it. We are test score optional this year. So you don't actually have to submit your test scores unless you feel that they are a good representation of you as a student. But do know that that is optional. FAFSA is required as part of our application because, as I mentioned earlier, you do have to qualify financially. And so the FAFSA determines whether you qualify or not, because it'll let us know if you are Pell Grant eligible. And so students will need to be Pell Grant eligible in order to be considered for admission. On the side, you see some key dates there. I highly encourage you to try to get everything in by November 30th, which is our priority deadline. And so definitely let your admissions counselor know. But the best way to get in contact with us is just to go to the berea.edu/apply. So hopefully we see your application. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Florida International University.
Okay, we're here. I'm sorry. All right. Let me see. So I'm representing FIU, Florida International University. My name is Jahara Graham. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions here. We're located in Miami, Florida. We are the 4th largest public university in the country, so we're pretty huge. There's over 200 different majors to choose from. Everything from bachelor's degrees to doctoral programs. So there, we have a College of Law, a College of Medicine. So again, a lot of different things to choose from. Tier 1 research institution. So there's a lot to get hands-on and involved in. We do have 18 NCAA Division I sports. and then over 300 clubs and organizations that we'll talk about a little later. So this just gives you an overview of some of our colleges and schools that we offer. College of Arts, Sciences, Education. What you see there is one of our mock trial rooms that we have here for the College of Law. College of Business is very, very popular here at FIU. Our international business program is ranked #2 in the nation, so that's something that we are very proud of. Architecture and the arts, we do have an accelerated master's track for any of our architecture degrees. So in 5 years, you go straight to your master's degree. And that event that you see there is our annual Walk on Water event, which is really popular, where the students are challenged to create some type of flotation shoes to get across the lake at the university. And the first one across gets a scholarship. So that's really fun. And some of them do fall in. So that's also interesting to watch. College of Engineering, again, very also popular here at the university, that there's a wall of wind. It can simulate up to Category 5 hurricanes. So ties in to community work as well. We do have a School of Hospitality, International Affairs. I mentioned this College of Medicine. So for there in the College of Nursing, you can see the simulation dummies that the students work with, very hands-on. And then Honors College here at FIU. Any student in any major can be a part of the Honors College. It is a separate application, but it's definitely worth it with all of the perks that it has. As far as student life, there's a lot going on at FIU. You can discover campus. So we have different things here. The Astro Science Center, literally a huge telescope in the middle of campus. We have a nature preserve. Arts and culture, we have our own art museums on campus, both and on South Beach, that are free to students. The one on South Beach doubles as an art studio for our art students. So they get to curate the museum as well as display their art and work in the 3D lab that we offer there. In the bottom picture, we see this South Beach Wine and Food Festival. So if you're a Food Network fan, that festival is in partnership with FIU School of Hospitality. So the students get to work side by side with the big chefs. So that's always really fun. Again, I mentioned the Division I sports, so we have 18 of those, but if you just like to, do recreation with your friends, you can. At the gym, we have one on both campuses, as well as intramural sports teams. And then over 300 clubs and organizations to choose from, Honor Society, and then Greek life, of course, we have all the councils represented here at FIU. Housing is an option. It is not required for freshman students to live on campus, but you definitely can. And freshman students are also allowed to bring their car. So that's one thing that a lot of students ask. This is the Honors Hall that's pictured here. It's the newest one on campus. So again, those Honors College perks. All of the housing is apartment or suite style. So there's no shared anything, bathrooms, anything like that. But you do have access, to laundry rooms, lounges, and then we have meal plans as well. So we have over 30 restaurants on campus, Chick-fil-A, Papa John's, Moe's, you name it. We have like 3 Starbucks. So everything is there. So that could be included with you staying on campus. In terms of the application, you can apply today. If you're a senior, our application opens every year, July 1st. So keep that in mind if you're a junior. Application deadlines, they're there for our different pathways that we offer. Early fall is the same as summer. So that starts usually around the 3rd week of June. And the application steps. So the website is at the bottom, admissions.fiu.edu. It's fully online. We are not on the Common app because we do not require an essay. So you apply online on our website, $30 application fee or fee waiver. Submit your test scores, SAT or ACT. There's no preference. And yes, we do super score. So send all the attempts that you have. And then submit your transcripts. We're looking at the weighted GPA. If you're doing dual enrollment, you can send your college transcripts as well. We definitely want to give you credit for every class that you've taken. As far as cost goes, this is the in-state tuition and out-of-state tuition. Out-of-state is also the same as international. So this is based on 30 credits, so a full year's worth of courses. You can see here, and fun fact, about 50% of our students graduate with no debt. At the bottom is our scholarship database. So we give out a lot of scholarships on there. And we are a public institution, so we do have a lot of grants and things coming in. So fiu.academicworks.com, that is the scholarship database that we have. Lastly, any questions you have, you can feel free to put them in the Q&A. I'll be here to answer them, but this is just the contact information for our Office of Admissions, phone number, the general email, my email specifically. You can visit us, online tour, campus tours, housing tours at that website, and then definitely follow us on social media. That's all the handles that we have there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Next, we'll be hearing from Mercer University.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Hope you all are having a happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Good to be able to connect, even if it's virtually. So my name is Chris Pinto. That is Pinto like the bean. Feel free to laugh. Everybody does. I work with the admissions team here at Mercer University. Really excited to talk with you all for just a couple of minutes about who we are and how you can learn a little bit more about us, maybe give you some more information about what makes us unique at Mercer. Hitting some of the high points. We are mid to large size private school in Macon, Georgia. So right in the center of the state of Georgia. Macon is our hometown. It's a pretty cool town. I'd say that Macon and Mercer have a really, really strong relationship, and the city is one of the things that makes Mercer great. We have a tremendous partnership with our city. There's actually a bridge that connects our downtown environment in Macon to campus. So students are constantly transitioning between both environments. Macon sits about an hour south of Atlanta. And while it is a city, unlike Atlanta, it's a relatively small city. So all the perks of the city, great restaurants, businesses for internships, really, really good music, strong music scene here in town. But you don't have to worry about traffic, which if you're me, that's a great thing coming from a much, much larger city. The partnership between the city and the campus is one of the key strengths. I think if you're looking for an environment where there's a strong sense of community, both on campus and in the surrounding area, Mercer has a really, really big strength here. We value our relationships. Most of the folks who live in Macon have a tie to Mercer. They went to Mercer, their kids went to Mercer. It's a very, very strong and stable environment for students interested in our campus. Speaking of which, we would love to have you come and visit campus. We are still doing in-person visitation. We started that back up towards the end of the summer on a much, much smaller scale, as you can imagine. So we cap those tours at about 2 or 3 families apiece during the week. We do have some Saturday events as well, but they're a little smaller than what we've done in the past. I think everybody on here would tell you that visiting a campus is the best way to learn about whether or not that school is going to be a good fit for you. So we'd love to have you come to Mercer, but anywhere you are interested in, make sure to take the time to visit in person, virtually, whatever works best for you. To talk a little bit about campus life, we have over 140, now about 150 student organizations spread across the undergraduate campus. A lot of the typical things you might expect. We've got a strong Greek life presence. About 20% of our students will pledge a fraternity or sorority. We do intramurals here. We have a lot of special interest organizations and service-based organizations, though. Mercer in general is really, really strong and was founded on a mission of service for Middle Georgia. And as we have become a national research institution, we have expanded that mission of service to the country and really to the world around us. So when you come to Mercer, you're going to find a lot of the student-based organizations are focused in how we can better serve our community, how we can better serve others in the world at large. We are also a D1 school for athletics, so football, basketball, softball, baseball, soccer, it's all here. Athletic events are obviously free to students. While this fall has been a little weird for athletics, we have had some games, had our homecoming football game this past Saturday, which is great to see the Bears play live and in person. But that's a strong part of our campus culture. Because we're not connected to any other major sports teams here in town, besides the Macon-Bacon minor league baseball team, that is, a lot of the folks in and around Macon come and cheer for the Mercer Bears across all of our athletic events. So a really, really strong part of our campus culture. I talked a little bit about service, and I always love to harp on this because everything we do at Mercer goes back to this mission. We have fantastic undergraduate research opportunities across a wide variety of disciplines, and they all start your freshman year, but they're all going to be tied to some type of service work here at Mercer. The special program that we always love to talk about is called Mercer on Mission. which is a combination of research, service learning with a study abroad trip. While we have traditional study abroad, where you study in a foreign country for a semester, Mercer on Mission allows you to take the research that you're doing here in Macon with your faculty and to travel abroad and apply that research to a community in need. The picture in the upper left corner is probably the most famous Mercer on Mission, which is a trip to Vietnam, where some of our health students, specifically biomedical engineering, go and apply a prosthetic that was designed by Mercer faculty and students to amputees in rural Vietnamese communities. There is a huge number of amputees in Vietnam, especially in rural areas where they are coming in contact with landmines that were left over from the Vietnam War. Traditional prosthetics are super expensive. So Mercer was able to design a much cheaper alternative, and every year students go back and apply this technology as a form of service to that community. That's just one example. There are so many others, but a great example of the kind of service we do. Real quickly, I'll talk through kind of the high points of the application process. If you want to learn more about Mercer, a big thing to know, the application is open on our website and on the Common App. The deadline for early action is November 15th. That's not a binding decision. That's basically just our priority scholarship deadline. So I encourage you to apply by November 15th if possible. Other than the application, we do need official transcripts and a letter of recommendation, and we are test optional this year. So whether you apply with the test score, ACT, SAT, totally up to you. We have no preference. You will be considered for scholarships either way. There's no preference for scholarship or for admission. This is our middle 50% for profile, ACT, SAT, and GPA. Again, remember that the test score is optional this year, but just kind of gives you an idea of what a typical student might look like at Mercer, but we do admit above and below these lines. And then an overview of our scholarships real quickly. We do up to $22,000 in merit awards, and we also have some competitive scholarship competitions. If you want to apply and be considered for a competitive competition, make sure to apply by that November 15th deadline. We'd love to connect with you. So check us out on social media, especially the Mercer Now Instagram account, but we've got some videos up on YouTube that are helpful as well. Again, my name's Chris. Would love to chat with you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Lastly, we'll be hearing from Toccoa Falls College.
What's up, everyone? I am Graham. I'm an admissions counselor with Toccoa Falls College. Super excited to be speaking with you guys today and sharing about TFC. TFC is a private liberal arts Christian college in Northeast Georgia. To give you an idea of where we're located, we are about 40 minutes west of Athens and about 40 minutes south of Clemson. So we're next to a few big cities, real fun, about an hour and a half northeast of Atlanta and an hour and a half southwest of Greenville. So it's really fun. TFC itself is kind of in a mountainous region. We have a 186-foot waterfall on campus. Really awesome. Our students love going out there, hanging out. So come visit us, check it out. I'll give you a little bit more details on visits a little bit later. But we offer 35 different majors as well as 43 different minors. So there's a wide range of things that you'll be able to do with us. Wide variety of options for you to explore for your degree and everything like that. And our goal is to be the Christian college of Georgia. If anyone is looking for a good Christian education, we want them to think of TFC first as one of the main options that they have to fulfill that. So, our goal is to establish ourselves as that. And one of the ways that we do that is we incorporate a Bible and theology minor into every degree that we offer. So no matter what you choose to study, you will 100% be getting Bible and theology education, and it will be influencing everything that you're doing in the way that you go into things. Our philosophy on education is that we want students to be poured into and to learn how to think well. So you're not being told what to believe. You're not being told you know, what perspectives you want to have. We want you to be able to think critically about things, and when you leave, to be able to, you know, discern, you know, your own opinions and your own views on all sorts of subjects. Our ratio is about 15 students to every faculty member. You know, so it creates a neat little environment where you can, you know, really experience and get to know your professors. Many of them are former ministers or were in ministry of some sort, so they have a legitimate desire to pour into you as a person, as a believer, as well as, you know, just as a student. So you are getting developed in all sorts of ways, you know, that many college experiences don't offer, that they don't give you the option to, you know, explore as closely tied with your education. In addition to that, because of our desire to, you know, help students grow in their thinking and everything like that, we have plenty of options where you can go overseas and do study abroad, and just learn about different cultures through that. In addition to the educational side of things, we have, you know, a really, really, you know, respectable athletics program. We offer a baseball team, a soccer team, basketball, and volleyball. So we have a men and women's for both soccer and basketball, and then baseball and volleyball are, you know, for women for volleyball and men for baseball. In terms of financial aid, every student who comes to TFC receives financial aid. We offer academic scholarships that are based off of your GPA and test scores. You know, so you will 100% be receiving help. Everyone receives financial aid, and it is a very affordable, you know, private Christian education that you can pursue here. In order to apply, you know, all we need are applications, of 200 to 300 word essay giving us your testimony and your relationship with Christ. We need high school transcripts, and we need test scores. And now the test scores can be waived if you haven't taken them yet, so no worries. You know, because of COVID, we are being a little bit more lenient with that. So, you know, please apply, check us out. You can use the promo code TFC Graham to waive our $30 application fee. That way you can, you know, not have to worry about covering that or anything. And in conclusion, come visit us. At least come check out the beauty of our campus. We have a stunning campus. It's the perfect time of year with the leaves changing and everything like that. The waterfall is stunning. You know, come check us out. We are doing in-person visits. We do have a few, you know, protocols in place for COVID and everything like that. So come check us out. We would love to meet with you, talk about, you know, more financial aid details, numbers, things like that, and, you know, just really help you see what TFC, you know, is all about.
All right, thank you. So we have a bit of extra time. If you have any Q&A questions, please submit those. And I'd just like to invite all of the reps to come back on and please share your favorite campus tradition at your school, and we can just go in the exact same order you presented in, starting with the Art Academy of Cincinnati.
Yeah, I really love maybe not so much traditions, but the access to our student clubs. Because of the scale of our campus, our students really have the opportunity to build clubs that make sense for them. Clubs like the Social Impact Club or our Queer Space Club for our LGBTQIA+ students. And, you know, we're spending a lot of time indoors these days. So I especially love our plant club, who has helped me deck out my home, you know, with many plants and ways to stay active in home, you know, as we're working from home. So access to community is really my favorite thing and tradition about the Art Academy.
I think my favorite tradition at Berea College would be our Mountain Day. So we hold a Mountain Day every October, except this October because of COVID. But think of it as like a big fall festival kind of thing. We have some mountains here in town. We all kind of go over there, and students set up different booths. There are dance groups come and perform. There's kettle corn and a bunch of different foods. It's students get to, if they want to hike in the morning to see the sunrise, some of our music ensembles sing, which is really pretty. But we cancel classes that day so that students can take advantage of going up to the mountain and just spending some time together. That's probably my favorite tradition, I believe.
I would say it's not really a tradition, but kind of just something that happens. Being that we're like 15, 20 minutes away from South Beach, 8th Street and Ocean Drive is kind of like unidentified as FIU way. So at any time you can go out there and see FIU students on 8th and Ocean on the actual beach. So they have their tents and everything, like really like hot spots, studying, whatever, like just having a beach day. So I think that's definitely like the perk of going to school in Miami is the beach to escape anything crazy. Especially now, like you can still social distance on the beach. So 8th and Ocean, if you come down to Miami, go on there and you're bound to see FIU students.
So at Mercer here in Macon, the oldest building on campus, the original building, what we call the administration building, they have these 2 spires up at the top of the building. Every year, the freshman class goes in groups and they climb to the very top of the building up to the spires, and they leave their mark on the spires somewhere. So it's basically legalized vandalism. So if that's your thing, if you want to climb up to the top of the tower freshman year and leave your mark in Mercer forever, it is a really cool tradition and something that students their senior year go back and they try and find their mark. But that's probably the most notable experience, especially right away.
Yeah, for me, it is definitely our homecoming. There's a specific event that we have called Sweets and Treats, where we set up a big giant tent on our intramural field and just load it up with all sorts of candy and sweets and boiled peanuts and all that good stuff. And while you're there, you have alumni from 40, 50, 60 years ago who are there, and you get to interact with them. There's tables there for you guys to talk and just hang out and everything like that. And you really get ingrained in the TFC community and what it's all about. And obviously I have a major sweet tooth, so I also you get to enjoy that as well. So there's definitely lots of good memories from that. It usually happens around October, so it's in fall as it's getting into that nice feeling weather and everything like that. So it's really fun. But that's definitely my favorite tradition and memory from TFC. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for sharing, and thank you everyone for joining us. When you go to close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other sessions recordings at the same website where you registered. So thank you again, everyone. Bye.